Hello everyone, welcome to your horoscope for this Taurus season, which is from April 20th to May 20th. This is for all Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, I don't know how other astrologers produce their horoscopes. I will only speak for myself, but I pretty much go by the teachings of my ancestors as my higher self guides me. So in Kemet, they had several different calendars running simultaneously while still correlating with each other. I will do a separate video on the calendars of Kemet, but for the sake of this video, I will simply do an overview of their astronomical calendar. So their astronomical calendar had 12 months in a year, each month consisting of 30 days, and then they added 5 days at the end of the year. So it would make a 365-day calendar year. So anyway, since the Gregorian calendar is pretty much imperfect, yet we still use it in dominant society, I have decided to still honor the original astronomers of this world while still connecting it with the tropical western zodiac used commonly today. So instead of going by the Gregorian calendar months, I go by the seasons of the zodiac. There's roughly 30 days in each season, so just like the astronomers of Kemet, I divide the season into 3 decans. I determine which decans are cardinal, fixed, mutable by planetary positions. Then, in meditation, I send forth Heru to retrieve any messages from the watchers of the hours, which is what they call the constellations. So I'm not going to go and get super deep into that. That was just a simple overview, just to kind of give you an idea of how I conduct my horoscopes. Once again, I can't speak for anybody else, any other astrologers, or how they do horoscopes, but for horoscopes, I depend upon, of course, my own intellect and following of the stars and what has been taught and taught and taught and taught for generations from my ancestors, but I also take into Heru the energy of the messenger and other things, of course. But, for the sake of Heruscopes, obviously, I am scoping the planetary system, the alignments, and the energies to see what is available and prominent during the season to give to you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, so that you can be able to make wise decisions and be victorious and triumphant, during this season because it's your season. So sorry if I sound a little stuffed. It's early in the morning. I really actually just felt so inspired to do this today. I was going to wait until tomorrow and start the videos and start the readings, but I was inspired to do today. So lucky you, Taurus. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first 10 days or the first decade in the Taurus season is from April 20th to the 30th. It's a cardinal, well, we would call a week, but they wouldn't call it that. But the first decan is cardinal. So basically, it's saying what is being initiated in your life, right? So before I go into what's being initiated into your life, you got to look at where the planets are located. Sun obviously is in Taurus. Moon will be in a couple different places during the whole entire season, so I don't concentrate on the moon for horoscopes. I only concentrate on the moon when doing personal or personalized horoscopes. But for the general horoscope, a moon would be a lot more detailed, which I'm sure you're just not interested in right now because it would be just way too general. So, Sun in Taurus, Moon is everywhere. Mercury is in Aries. It's not retrograde, it's direct. Great, right? So, direct Mercury in Aries. Mars, Saturn, and Pluto are all in Capricorn. Woo! Jupiter is in Scorpio and will be in Scorpio for a while. Uranus is in Aries, Neptune is in Pisces, and Venus, okay? Venus is going to move into Gemini on April the 25th. So this is important because it's happening, it's the only planetary movement happening during the first decade of the Taurus season. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what is being initiated? What is happening? Well, it's going to be a greater level of focus on your craft, your work, on what you're passionate about. Some would say your career. I don't really like that word, but for the lack of a better one for right now, your career, your pursuits, right? So you're basically going to be keeping yourself busy. However you keep yourself busy, that's what you're going to be doing for this first decade. You're going to feel yourself really just focused on work. Truth is going to be revealed about someone who is in authority or holds a high standing position in your life, like a father figure or someone who just simply holds a high position. Basically, the veil is being ripped away so that everyone can see with great clarity what's really going on. Something to do with the family, with your origins, where you come from. It's going to require you to make a quick, on the spot decision that could affect generations to come. It may even be a rebirth in your finances, wealth building for the next generation. Definitely is going to have a moment of a test of character, a test of your integrity to see where you lie. And it may require some sacrifice on your end. Some of you may be going to court or some type of legal proceedings. When I was doing the meditation, Meek Mill was dropped into my spirit. And so right after finishing up the Taurus meditations, I actually just started looking on the internet to see what was going on with Meek Mill, because I haven't really been active in social media. And then I'm seeing he's got, I guess, a court trial is coming up or something like that. I didn't read the whole article that I saw. I just kind of like snipped through it. So after I'm done with this, I'm definitely going to check that out. I might even do a reading for him, or just to talk about him for a while, because he is a Taurus. And that was very interesting that he dropped into my spirit during meditation. So if you want me to do something on him, or if you're interested to see what might be going on with his case, I for sure will do that. Just drop a comment in the comment section below, or shoot me an email. Either way is fine. But anyways, let me get back to Heruscope. I'm sorry. So yeah, wealth building, a test of character. Some of you guys might be going to court or some type of legal proceedings. It could be like child support. It could be someone passed and you have to basically hear the will being read. Whatever it is, there's some type of legal proceedings. So a lot of you guys don't feel confident for whatever reason, and that's okay. That's okay, because the energies, you can either go with that feeling, or you can take in, especially on the 25th, you can take in that Venus energy, because as she moves into Gemini, she's offering hope, abundance, love to all who are willing to fight for it, who won't give up, even if it kills them. It's got a very Oshun type energy. And if you don't know about Oshun, go read up on her a little bit. It's a very beautiful story that teaches us a lot. I'm sorry, my water is ready, and I was trying to ignore it, but I can't ignore it. I'm so sorry, Taurus. I'm going to go get my tea. So give me one moment. All right, y'all, I'm back. And I'm telling you, this coffee is delicious. Anyway, so Oshun, like I was saying before, Oshun is, she has many stories, many stories. And one day I'll probably do a video on her many patakis. But for this particular one, the one that I'm thinking of, the story that I'm thinking of, the pataki, is when she basically the other Orisha were making fun of her, kind of like disregarding her. They didn't see really any value in her, and so I'm not going to tell the whole story, but something happened basically in which all the other Orishas um, couldn't do anything. They could not help the situation that had arisen. And so the only one that could help, the only one that actually um, had what it took to save basically mankind was Oshun. And so she turned into oh, my mind almost called her a pigeon. What did she turn into? A peacock. She turned into a peacock, and she flew to the source, to the creator. And she flew and flew and flew, and just when it looked like she could fly no more, her feathers and everything was torn from her. She looked raggedy, and in fact, she basically had flown so far and went through so much to get to the source, to save mankind, to save humanity. I won't say mankind, but humanity. She did so much that at first she started out looking like a peacock, but she ended up looking like a vulture. And so there's a lot more to that pataki, but I want you to go and find the story for yourself. I want you to go and read the story for yourself. It might be hard to find as in English because of the simple fact that, let's be honest, a lot of these were oral tradition. You know, we come from African people. We come from an oral tradition type of culture. A lot of cultures, actually, not just Africans, but Mother Africa. So she teaches her children, and that her children are the other cultures that came forth. Not saying that you guys are lesser than, just simply saying that, hey, we all learn from our mothers, right? Anyways, I'm sorry for going on a slight tangent, but read it up. If you can find the written stories on it, go ahead, read up on it. Especially since you might be difficult to find it written in English. A lot of these patakis are written in other languages. I think the closest thing that I have gotten to a full length written pataki that was not written in the original language of the people was in French, I believe. It was in French. It was in French. So, and I had to translate that. So if you can find the English one, send it to me so I can share with everybody else, or share below in the comment section, because I do believe sharing is caring. But I had to translate the French version, and it's a lot of work. So if you find the English version, please help a sister out. But yeah, Oshun, like that story alone, like she went to the depths to almost dying and killing herself. She sacrificed her beauty, her mystique, her everything, because peacocks are very beautiful. The male ones, like I said, I won't get into all that, but she sacrificed all of that for others, and she ended up gaining so much more, in the end. Even though she did it for others, she gained a lot. And one of the things that she gained out of that experience was respect. The other Orishas was like, wow, like, we underestimated, and we weren't respectful like we could have been. Now we see, and you might have that moment. You might have that moment, Taurus, in which others will finally see, like, oh shit, we weren't looking at you the way we should have looked at you. All right. Anyways, just remind yourself every day, go look in that mirror, do some mirror magic, and just say, I am beautiful. I am loving. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am strong. I am. All right? Do that in the morning. Do some mirror work, just to remind yourself. Look at yourself in the eyes. Be like, yeah, I said that because I am. Things are going to be broken down in your life so that something better, something stronger, Something more stable can take its place. It's almost like seeing a tree from super far off, like you're a few miles away. Of course, the tree is going to look small. It's going to appear small because you're super far away. It's not until you get closer that you realize how enormous the tree really is. It's going to be like that type of moments for you. You know, this transition that you're going through, this transformation that you're going through may be extremely difficult and even possibly painful. But be strong. Be strong, Taurus. And persevere. Y'all know how to do it the best. Y'all do it with such style and grace. Persevere. Because the reward at the end is greater than what was sacrificed. Okay? So also remember that when the opportunity arises, take that time to rest your body and your mind. Okay? Rest. Not like, every day, all day, but, take that time to rest your body, rest your mind, so that you can receive guidance. Okay? When you're doing a lot, when everything is hectic, when everything is go, gotta get done, da, 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 da. Like when it's like that, you can't, well, you can still hear, because sometimes spirit will force you to hear because something is that important. But you don't want to have to force spirit to have to work hella hard. You don't want to have your ancestors and your spirit guides, all of them working super extra hard to give you a message that really should have been easy to give you, because you took the time to quiet yourself, to still yourself, and receive the message. Okay? Receive that guidance. Okay? And it might not come from your spirit guide. It might not come from your ancestors. It might come from a person right next to you who you've never met before in your life, a stranger. Or it might come from your parent, or it might come from your best friend, or it might come from your teacher who you don't like. But they have a message for you. And you want to be able to receive it. Your higher self has a message for you. You want to be able to receive it. Okay? And also know that there is someone coming. Okay? There will be a moment of relief that someone is coming to give you. They're going to come and they're going to lighten your load. Okay? So be receptive. Be receptive, my loves. All right. That was a long decan. So the second decan is when is the second decan? The second decan is from May 1st roughly to May 10th, right? It's a fixed decan, all right? The second decan. And basically there's no planetary movement at all. Everything is fixed in its spot for that decan, okay? From May 1st to the 10th. Everything is fixed. So what does that tell us? Okay, everything that I initiated in the beginning of the season is, starting to run on full steam, right? And so knowing this, I know that there will be obstacles coming my way, because nothing is going to be smooth, not in this life. No. It doesn't work like that. There's got to be something to make this a challenge, right? I mean, life wouldn't be interesting if we didn't have challenges, right? So anyways, that you have to ask yourself the question when you go into meditative mode, because you can do this too. Hopefully after a while you will learn how to do your own Heruscopes. That is my hope. Anyways, so you're going to say, okay, Spirit, in meditation, what are some of the obstacles and situations that that will arise, during this fixed state that I need to be aware of, so that I can prepare myself to handle it in the best way, and to basically make wise decisions. Because when you're aware of something, you can make better decisions, right? So with that being said, for you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, be wary, be aware that there might be some times when you don't take situations or advice seriously, and you may end up being kind of kind of childish, kind of immature. And people will look at you and perceive you as acting childish or not displaying your emotional intelligence, you know, and not displaying your maturity. There may be some moments when that comes up. And so you have to remember that people are perceiving you in this way. So don't give them something to run with, right? Also, you might be tempted to be excessive in love or romance, excessive at work, excessive in trying to obtain material things. Whatever it is for you, it just comes across as you're doing too much. Like, you're really doing too much. Go sit down somewhere. It's too much. And you will know it. You will know it. As soon as it starts to manifest, or as soon as it starts to happen, you will be like, oh yeah, this is what Giselle was talking about. I'm doing too much. Let me calm myself down a little bit. And it's okay. It's okay. We have those moments. Just check yourself. Check. Also, there may be some times when you lack motivation, but it might come across to other people as you lacking determination, as if you're going to just give up, or as if you have already given up. Be aware of this. Know that you know that you're determined, but other people might not be seeing it the same way. So don't let that make you feel a certain type of way. Just know that people aren't seeing clearly at that moment, but make sure you're not giving them a reason to feel like how they're perceiving you is justified. Okay, so if you see yourself kind of doing something that you could say, oh, I could see how someone would interpret this as me lacking determination, then just check yourself and be like, all right, well, let me flip it up a little bit or switch it up. During this season, someone's going to give you a powerful tool, okay? Whether it's an actual physical thing or whether it's just simply advice or whatever it is, it's a tool, right? And it's powerful, and it's going to be extremely helpful later down the road. So don't disregard it. Don't take it for granted, okay? Because later down the road, you're gonna be like, damn, I should have took better care of that tool, or I should have really listened to that advice and not taking it for granted. Also, people are going to be taking your kindness for weakness a lot this season. They're going to be looking at you as if you're fragile or hyper feminine, and this can go for both women and men. It's not exclusive to one sex. It can literally go for both, that you are looked upon as just too feminine, like hyper feminine to a point of annoyance. And so or just emotional, emotional is not a bad thing, but too much of anything is not good. Okay, so you don't want to be overly anything, right? So they might interpret you as just like as if you're not tough enough to handle certain situations, to handle certain information, to handle certain decision making processes. Okay, and some people might even interpret your you being quiet as being timid or meek, or just like, oh, scary. So know this. You don't have to like be loud and all that just because you don't want people to think that you're scary or timid. You could still be that quiet person, because my grandma always taught me it's the quiet ones you need to watch. So so just be aware that people might be tempted to run over you because they're misinterpreting your quietness as weakness. They're misinterpreting your kindness as weakness. Let them, whatever. Just know what you are, all right? Know that I I already know. Y'all Taurus, y'all ain't nothing to play with. Y'all be cool and y'all let stuff go and you won't say nothing for a long time, And then after a while, you're like, okay, you come on now, y'all need to chill. And then after a while, it's like, come on, y'all need to chill. And then boom, you go ham on their ass. And then they are reminded why you are called the bull. All right. Y'all ain't nothing to play with. So just know who you are. Know that you ain't nobody to play with. And other people recognize this too. But there might be other people who don't know. And they'll find out. You ain't got to show them. They'll find out. All right. But choose your battles wisely. Sometimes you already know. Sometimes just let it go. But sometimes you need to check them and be like, hey, yo, stop. Because I'm not that one. Don't do that. I'm kind, but don't do that. All right. So anyways, some more obstacles that might be coming your way. Having time to balance family, love, and work and all that. Just life. Finding time to balance life. And it's possible. It's definitely possible, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And, there's going to be times where it's going to feel very overwhelming, especially since a lot of people are going to be vying for your attention. It's your season, it's your birthday season, and you're attractive right now. Venus is powered up right now, and that's your planet, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on that is basically powering you up to just be attractive, in more ways than just physical. And so people are just going to be vying for your attention. So it's going to be tough, but it's possible for you to balance that time between all the things that you love and all the people that you love. There may be some heated arguments with friends, your inner circle. So it doesn't have to necessarily be friends. My brother is like my best friend. So, that could be the same for you. Whoever is in your inner circle, there may be some heated arguments or disagreements that could produce feelings of betrayal and rejection, and a possible exit from the circle by either you or someone else. I'm really feeling like it may be someone else, but whoever it is, whatever arises, just know that this is truly the season of letting go. So whatever is meant to leave, let it leave. Don't fight it. And whatever is meant to stay, be happy and rejoice in that. Rejoice both ways, because whatever is meant to go is for your good. It's for your good and for that other person's good as well. It goes both ways, So let it go and enjoy what you got. All right. But you may have to let a friend go. And it's really teaching all of us in a way to understand that a certain alliance or a group project or whatever it is not going to work. It's just not going to happen. So how do you separate or part ways in an amicable way? You don't always have to be like mad at each other or have hurt feelings. Sometimes we can part and it's good on both sides. Like I'm cool. Like I'm happy for you, you happy for me, but we just can't work together. And it's cool. So how do you do that? How do you part ways amicably? How do you part ways without hating each other, right? Or disagreeing with respect, right? Finding a resolution without having to go to war. That's going to be a learning process for all of us, but especially you, Taurus. Learning that. So anyways, that's pretty much it. The very last second, of course, is the mutable. It's the 11th through the 20th, pretty much. And so basically anything can happen. It's mutable. So however you started out, however you worked it out in the middle, however you started out, however you worked it out, it's going to pretty much show you how it's going to wrap up. what's going to be the final result at the end of the season in the last decade. I can predict anything, we all can predict. We can make very good predictions. It's good to predict. But why sit here and predict? Why take that time? I'd rather just give you the information to help you make the best decisions during the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season, so that your ending can be the way that you want it to be. There's power in that. That free will, superpower. So I'm not going to make any predictions. But just know that in the third and final decade of the season, on May 14th, Mercury moves into your sign of Taurus. On the 17th, Mars moves into Aquarius and Saturn goes retrograde. On the 20th, Venus goes into Cancer. But most importantly, a very, very major move, because the outer planets take longer than the inner planets. And so with that being said, this is major. On May 16th, Uranus moves into your sign, Taurus. So what does this all mean? Well, it means a lot. It's very major. But for you, Taurus, this is your message. Anything is possible, baby. Anything is possible. The only thing guaranteed in life is change. Change is constant, so we must embrace it and go with the flow of life. How suitable for the mutable decade of this season, right? So being yourself, being the true you, the authentic you, and embracing the changes of life will allow it to be something more workable. It won't be as daunting. You may enjoy this lake that you're in right now, but allow the currents of life to take you somewhere even better. Trust in your intuition. This is where wisdom, true wisdom, resides. All right, Taurus. Love you, love you, love you. And can't wait to see you guys a little bit later. I am definitely going to do a mid-season check-in before the mutable decade. I didn't mean to rhyme, but that was funny. But anyways, keep trailblazing on, y'all. I love y'all. Until the next time, peace.